Eric is in deep contemplation as he drives a back road in Kansas. He is getting away from it all on one of his photography day trips. Fearing losing his thoughts, he decides to put them on paper before they are gone. According to the map, there is a scenic overlook with a picnic table, a great place to stop. Arriving at the lookout, he pulls in and grabs his notepad and pencil. Climbing out of his truck, he heads for the table. Seated at the table, he looks out across the beauty of the Kansas Flint Hills lit ablaze by the early fall sun. His mind is churning as he looks down and begins to outline a story about the unintentional loner. A man Eric would say is very familiar. Ray is a man who finds himself, except for his family, seemingly alone in a world that is unrecognizable even a few years ago. Ray has reached middle age and, over time, has realized that he had become an unintentional loner. He is not sure how it happened. It's not like he set out to do it or even wanted it. It wasn't always this way. Way back in middle school and high school, he had schoolmates and some friends. They would hang out after class during lunch. He would get together with friends after school hours. But then graduation came, and over time, something happened. His friends and schoolmates started drifting away, and before he knew it, they were gone. It's not that Ray is averse to socializing. He enjoys spending time with people. Ray's favorite way of holding a conversation is by asking questions. He likes to get to know people by learning their stories and understanding their worldview. His philosophy is all people have an interesting story to tell, and you can learn something from everyone. One of Ray's most significant sources of frustration is that he rarely has had the chance to tell his story. He has made peace with that fact and will continue to enjoy learning about other people. Making friends has always been a challenge for him, and he has given up on the idea at this stage. Eric, from life experience, knows who every adult becomes is a combination of every phase of their life. Childhood and teenage experiences shape each person for a lifetime. People take different paths from similar backgrounds, but each course starts in childhood. Moving to a small town when Ray was in elementary school, it was a community of families connected through shared ancestry and culture involving their religious denomination. Many of the town residents could find social connections through a process called the name game. It was pretty evident early on that you would have difficulty joining their social circles. Moving to this town from a region of the country where speaking had a distinct accent combined with a name that did not fit the ethnic profile of the town made playing the town's name game a losing proposition. His friends and schoolmates were primarily new kids to town, many of whom he suspects had similar experiences. For Ray, these shared experiences turned the town into just a place to live, and also turned the town into a place his friends and mates left behind, not wanting to return. Laying his pencil aside for a moment, Eric decides it is enough background for today. He looks up and studies the hills with their deepening shadows, proof the sun is beginning its inevitable slide into darkness. Focusing on the final push to complete his outline, he describes Ray's lessons in his life. As an adult, Ray is coming to appreciate the lessons learned during the development time in his life, as they made him who he is today. He is grateful for the gift of learning about tolerance and acceptance, and as an adult, not following the example shown to him in his early life. Looking back now, he realizes that those differences were what made him unique. They helped define him and gave him a sense of identity as an adult. Growing up was not an unhappy time. You just knew your social place. Ray made the observation that adult friendships are quite different from those formed during childhood and adolescence. Few childhood friendships carry over. Most notably, a person's number of true friends tends to dwindle as they get older if they ever existed. Being the curious sort, he studies people and groups of people. Observation has led him to conclude that the ties that bind can also be the ties that separate. A study of groups has led to the understanding that they may start innocently enough but soon evolve into unwritten standards for joining the group. Ray has come to terms with the fact that his social circle will never be as large as when he was a youth, and he's okay with that. He knows there are plenty of other things in life worth focusing on, like spending time with his wife and kids, exploring new hobbies and interests, or simply enjoying a peaceful evening at home, learning to write his life experiences. Flipping his notepad closed, Eric sighs, ending his trip down memory lane. Daylight has grown short, and a chill is in the air. It is time to return home.